right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Star Wars Weekly Review. We have friends again, as usual. We got my friend Aaron, we got my friend Chris, and we got my boy Nico. And we all watched Star Wars The Bad Batch, episode 5. Yeah. And this one was titled Rampage. So right off the bat, I knew it was going to be crazy and something was going to go down. I will start off by sharing my initial thoughts. I'm going to pass it on to you guys after that. In this episode, we see that the Bad Batch, they make a deal with a Trandoshan lady, on this off-world planet. And basically, they're wanting to get intel who is hunting down or trying to track down, them and Omega. Who is Fennec Shan, pretty much. That's what they're trying to figure out, and basically who hired her. So, the bounty hunter, code and whatnot. If you're going to you want information, it's a give or take type of thing. So if they want something, they have to do something for this Trandoshan, whose name is Sid, right? Isn't her name Sid? I'm pretty sure, yeah. So they have to go on a mission to save someone or something called, isn't it Moochie? Wasn't that the name of
Moochie
that we find out down the road, which we'll get into. And then something happened for me. I started putting two and two together when we seen Fortuna. We started hearing about Jabba. I was like, wait a second, this has got to be there's something connected here. Why else would we see this guy, here in the episode? And then it made more sense, which I'll let you guys kind of elaborate on here in a minute. Another thing that I want us to talk about in this episode is it's intentional at this point, you guys. Wrecker's headaches. Okay, this is every episode, and I love that pop, by the way. That's beautiful. But you guys, come on, that's so intentional. Like something, it's like definitely build up, and something's going to happen because we talk about it every episode because something literally happens to the guy in every episode. So I'll let you guys elaborate on that here in a minute because I want to hear your thoughts. And then another thought that we could talk about is who hired Fennec Shan. Some of you guys may have this in your notes as far as what you took down, but I think I have a little speculation, which I'll talk about later. But I want to hear from you guys on that too. And then it kind of leaves us off with Sid. I really love her character. The Lady Trandoshan, but I feel like she could definitely double cross them at any point if she's paid the right amount. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave it there. I brought up those little points that I took away, but little points that you guys can bounce off of. Nico, why don't you start us off, man? What did you think of the episode? What's some stuff that you took away?
I enjoyed this episode more than I thought I would going in, because as soon as Wrecker's head started hurting, I was like, oh, God.
Again, yeah, I know.
Not this. But to follow up on the point you made, I don't trust her because I was looking in the background and she has a clone trooper helmet just on the shelf in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to rewatch again. Okay.
Yeah, she just has a clone trooper helmet just sitting in the back. I'm like, all right, where did she get that? Not gonna ask questions. None of my business. But yeah, like even the last part of the episode, like just makes you think, can you trust this person? Can you trust what's happening here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's those Trandoshans, man. I don't know.
They're sketchy.
Right.
Very sketchy.
Lizard people.
Yeah. Good catch. I didn't even see. I'm definitely going to rewatch again later.
Yeah.
Chris, man, what'd you think?
I liked the episode. I also peeped Wrecker's headache, and that Hunter noticed it too because he kind of whipped his head around like, and then immediately something else happened, and I'm just like, no, this is just going to be a fake out. Nothing's going to happen to Wrecker. It's going to be a fake out. But yeah, and then the repeated trauma of fighting Moochie, and I'm like, no, please no. But yeah, I'm loving the Wrecker Omega interactions, when she's like, clearly the girl's the brains of the operation. You had that little high five in the background. I'm like, yes.
And she is, man. Surprisingly, she really is.
And Echo being the responsible uncle. It's not a toy. Okay, it's not a toy.
I love the dynamic that they all share for sure. Yeah. Aaron, what did you think of this episode? What are some little points that you took away?
I enjoyed this episode as well. I was like starting to get into it, and then it was over. I was like, oh, I can't
Mhm.
for short episodes. But yeah, of course, I too love the dynamic between Omega and Wrecker. I thought that part was so cute. They gave him a little high five and just the little moments between them. And at this point, I'm literally just preparing my heart and soul for something to happen to Wrecker, because as soon as that headache thing came up, I was like, all right, here we go. Let me just mentally prepare myself. Like, I hate it, but yeah.
But we all know it's coming. You know what I mean? And I feel like every episode that we've done thus far, we've literally been talking about it like almost every episode.
I'm surprised we like caught it so early, because maybe the first time it would have been like, oh, you know, he bumped his head. That's Wrecker. But it's like, okay, no. Dang it. I don't want it.
You know what? As you just said that, it made a thought come into my mind. I don't think Filoni would do this, but he could. What if like something happened to Wrecker, you know, and that initiative of Order 66 kicks in, and he just goes on a crazy rampage, destroys most of the Bad Batch except for Hunter and Omega. Like they're the last two that kind of have to stay together. You know what I mean? Like maybe later, I don't know. I could see something crazy like that happening to where he becomes this casualty, you know, that takes out, you know, as a lot of us are wondering, like this seems like the Suicide Squad group of Star Wars characters. You know what I mean? Something's going to happen where one of their own, and that's already happened with Crosshair, you know what I mean? But I think in a more tragic case, obviously I feel like it's built up for something worse. So
my money is on the most painful thing that I can think of is that Hunter's chip is the one that actually activates, and he goes.
Don't say that.
You know, he fights everybody. That's what hurts the most. So that's what I'm betting on.
Oh man, I mean, that would be unexpected. That would be unexpected, and that would be like Dave Filoni to throw a curveball where you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming at all. You know,
terrifying.
He's like, hey, I got promoted. Here's some more pain.
Right. Yeah. Only time will tell. What do we have? Like, is there 12 episodes of this, or is it?
I think it's 16.
16. Okay. We got a few more. Yeah. So there's a lot that could happen, you know, within that time period. Another thing I'm really surprised about is just the toys. I'm a big collector guy. I'm like a lot of you guys as well. And I haven't seen much. I mean, I know you if you're doing your online. Nico's looking like, oh, well, let me show you. I mean, I know if you guys do online shopping, you might be able to find some stuff. But, you know, when this is like the most current Star Wars thing that's out. So to me, like going into stores, it's just kind of surprising that we don't see much more merchandise like in store. You know what I mean? Like if you go into the Target or Walmart, they have their specific, you know, Star Wars section. And it's just weird to not. I'm like, they should have some in stores. But I guess you guys typically have to find it online for some stuff, I guess.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I'm like, they need to get on their game with that. I thought there would be more merchandise specifically for Bad Batch.
Yeah, I was in Target the
I
other
think that's
day
kind
and
of
nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Chris?
kind of a thing that Disney has been dropping the ball on, which is really surprising considering it's Disney and you know how much they love their money.
Yeah.
But you know, with the child, obviously they didn't want to give anything away, but you should have had things ready week 2 or week 3 at the latest. And then Ray Saber, we just got that at Galaxy's Edge, you know, a few weeks ago, and it's been almost 3 years at this point, or
That's
two
true.
2 years. I don't know. Time is weird. But yeah, it's just like, give the people what we want. We want the Star Wars toys. Like that's been the thing since A New Hope. Give it to us. We're gonna buy it.
I guess you have a point. They have a reputation for being very slow getting some of this stuff out. So, but if you want some of the Bad Batch stuff, you know, those of you guys who are watching, I mean, you know, you got to do your online hunting.
Unless you want Omega, because she's sold out like everywhere because she's a Target exclusive.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like that section was gone. I could tell there was a section where toys should have been.
Yeah.
There's just nothing there.
Yeah. I see that a lot with some of them. They have like these vintage style Star Wars figurines. like at Target, and it's like a section, but the ones that are there are like the ones that are like, picked over. It's like, I don't know, for better lack of example, like a Rose or, someone that you're not typically
so
like.
many Shang-Chi figures. I was like,
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But, aside from that, this is something I've seen other folks talk about, other creators with the Bad Batch. I mean, I agree. It's not like it's crazy, like groundbreaking stuff, because obviously it kind of gives us something that we haven't seen thus far leading up into events after Order 66. And, again, like the show, it's not like, I feel like it has a different tone than season 7 of Clone Wars, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not like, oh my God, it's so crazy, even though we're enjoying it. But to me, I feel like it's the anticipation of the show that's kind of the thing for me that's like, all right, I'm enjoying this ride, but I know it's going somewhere. I know it's going to reveal some things. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's still exciting to kind of go on this ride because it's, I don't know, I feel like the Bad Batch, they're this wild card and we really don't know what to expect, come every episode. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my take on it. How are you guys feeling about the show thus far? Anyone?
It feels like a roller coaster, one that sort of like shoots you out and then goes to the building up of the really big hill. and you can't really see, so you don't know when the drop is coming.
Yeah.
But the drop is coming.
Oh, that's what is that ride in Disneyland? Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's happy, it's weird, it's creepy, but that drop is coming. You're getting a little wet, the music's getting louder. You go down a small drop, your stomach drops, and then the big drop is coming. That's Bad Batch.
Yeah.
The Star Wars team had a meeting and they went on Splash Mountain, and Dave Filoni's like, write this down.
Right. You two, what do you guys think? How are you feeling about the show thus far?
I feel like with the amount of episodes we have, like initially going in, like with all 16 episodes, we're gonna have like a long time between serious action points. But I'm enjoying this in between time more than I thought I would, like seeing Uncle Wrecker and Omega. And those are the parts of the show I'm really enjoying. Instead of subverting my expectations with hopes and stuff, I'm just enjoying what they're giving me so they can terrify me later.
Yeah. I could respect that and agree with it 100%. Absolutely. Aaron, what about you, my friend? How is the Bad Batch treating you right now? How are you feeling?
I'm really enjoying it. I'll admit, when I saw all the new Star Wars stuff that was coming out, I wasn't like Bad Batch, yes, like that wasn't the first thing I was super excited about. But I really enjoy it. I like these like little short stories that we kind of are watching as they're going on their journey. I like it. I'm surprised to see how many people like don't like it. I'm like, what more do you want? I know it's so like I know I'm enjoying it anyways, but I know something pretty cool is gonna happen because they're not just gonna keep on doing this. So I know eventually it's gonna get to like a climactic point. But I'm surprised to see how many Star Wars fans say that they're not enjoying it. And I'm like, well, it is like kind of geared for children, but you can still enjoy it. I don't know.
I feel like it's got some dark moments for sure. You know what I mean? For sure.
Absolutely.
But
all of the Wars did,
And what else are you gonna watch? That's Star Wars right now.
Exactly.
Like this is the time to be alive. Unless you're reading books. I'm a book reader, so I do read a lot of Star Wars books. But as far as stuff to watch, I'm enjoying the ride. Again, it's not like it's not crazy groundbreaking, but it's the anticipation of the show where like, okay, it's gonna go somewhere. It's even little things like with Caleb Dune, you know what I mean? Like seeing little things come full circle. I enjoy those things, and the speculation piece, which kind of gets into my next point of our conversation, is who do you think hired Fennec Shand? Now, there's a lot of speculation about this, and I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier, and if you guys have read any of the like Vader comics, Chris, you might be able to back me up on this.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that Vader really defied, the Emperor a lot of times. Like he, was tormented by the Emperor, and even had his own like secret things that he was working on at points, to go up against, Palpatine, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the comics. So it also brought me back to an old video game, and that's The Force Unleashed. And thinking about certain characters or character who, I mean, there's speculation. I've heard other creators talk about this too. Do you guys think that, we may be able to see some of those characters come into play? And do you think that Vader hired Fennec Shan? That's just an idea. I don't know. She, again, we learned that she's a new bounty hunter. Like that was definitely mentioned in the episode. Like she's kind of new to the scene, but definitely someone not to be trifled with. But it makes me wonder, like, if Vader did hire her, here's the thing. His goal was to wipe out all Jedi, right? If we know of like, Force Unleashed storyline, that was, why that's what happened in the game, right? So if it plays on the idea of like, if Omega is Force sensitive, is she a target for that specific purpose? I don't know. That's an idea. I could be completely wrong, but I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts as far as like who you think has hired Fennec Shan to basically go after Omega and the Bad Batch? Oh yeah, anyone can share.
I still think it's the Kaminoans, but that kind of seems like the obvious answer. So it could be someone totally different to just, totally throw us off like, whoa, it was actually, a different character. And that would be very Dave Filoni. So to me, I'm like, well, of course it's the Kaminoans, but maybe not. I don't know. That could be like the big surprise,
Yeah. I can see that too. I really could see that. Because maybe again, with that point, it's like there's more to Omega that we don't know. And they know something about her and what she can do, that we don't. So I could definitely see that for sure. You two, what do you think? Who hired Fennec Shan?
Okay.
I'm still hedging my bets on the Kaminoans, but I read someone's theory that it could be Boba, just because Omega is another clone that isn't going through like the rapid aging process, which is something that his father requested for him. So he may be like, yeah, no, she's mine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought of that too, but then I was like, when the Sid said she was new to the scene, I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe they haven't connected yet. But yeah, I don't know.
Huh. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And that would, if that was the case, that would answer the question, did Fennec Shan and Boba have some connection before the time of the Mandalorian, which would be interesting. So Nico, what do you think, man?
All right. In the same vein where you said Vader has plans, Palpatine also had plans too. Like when he tried to seduce Ezra.
Yeah.
It could be Palpatine too. If Omega's Force sensitive, not Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Still ride. I don't know. But this is a nice place to throw in my 1% theory every episode.
Yeah.
This episode's 1% theory. Omega ends up on Exegol. There you
go. She just ends up on Exegol.
To back up your Palpatine theory, he did hire this one doctor that helped build Vader's suit and helped keep him alive. That guy ended up making several like Vader replacements.
Yeah.
And so, Palpatine was clearly apprentice shopping. Just like Batman goes Robin shopping. So, it is entirely possible that it was Palpatine all along.
Which would terrify me again. I was terrified for Ezra.
The guy you're talking about, Silo, scientist Silo, and that
Silo
guy, he
4.
also he made several clones of himself as well. So he, the Kaminoans, they weren't the only ones who were into the cloning stuff. So you could, both of you guys could be onto something with that,
Hmm.
where it could actually be, Palpatine working his magic behind the scenes. Who knows? But then I'm not giving up on the thought too that it could just be the Kaminoans because, again, we all know that there's this charm to Omega that's strange, where you're like, there's something more to her. You know what I mean? Like there's something else that we're missing that I don't think she's just a normal kid. You know what I mean? Like she's cute and she's adorable and I love her moments with the Bad Batch crew, but there's still something about her that's like, there's something strange about this kid, and I want to know more about it. So interesting thoughts. Well, I mean, that sums up everything I had for this episode. Did you guys have any other final thoughts that you wanted to share?
Nope.
None?
Oh, I do. A fun connection to Return of the Jedi. So Muchi isn't the Rancor that we see in Return of the Jedi.
Yes. Yeah.
Not? Oh, okay.
No, it's not. I had to go look it up. The Rancor that was in Return of the Jedi was a male, and Muchi is a female, and the name was Patissa.
Oh, good catch. In my little fanboy brain, I was thinking, that's the baby version.
That's exactly what I thought.
Okay.
But then so then I looked it up. So you know how there was that one guy that sort of was like crying after Patissa died in Return of the Jedi and went up and like it was like the dude with like the helmet and he was shirtless. Yeah. I'm thinking like, okay, if that was more like his pet, what if Muchi is Bib's pet? Because it's a Rancor. No one's really thinking about going up, running it, hugging it, but Bib did.
Right.
Bib was happy to see Muchi and not like a happy, like, oh my God, my life is saved.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, good catch. Thank you for sharing that. Because my brain was thinking just that,
So that's exactly where I went. I was like, I have to look this up. Is it true? Is it true? No.
Good catch.
But even with this episode too, and mentioning that, I feel like, maybe it was just a small Easter egg, but we're starting to see other elements of like, Jabba being mixed into the scene, which, might not be far-fetched to say, we'll see other characters such as Boba, at this point, because we haven't seen, in this terms of the animation part of, the story, we've only seen Boba in his younger years, so we haven't seen him in those earlier moments where, he had his full armor and, he was doing this thing as a bounty hunter kind of on his solo end. So I think that would be really interesting to see some of those other characters jumping into the mix. But great talk today, you guys. Where can everybody find you? Aaron, where are you at?
I am on TikTok and Instagram. It's Aaron right here, spelled phonetically. My TikTok is funner than my Instagram, but that's where you can find me.
Sweet. Chris, where can the people find you at, man?
You can find me on TikTok at Star Wars Lawyer, all one word. I might make an Instagram with that username.
Hey,
maybe.
Let's go.
We'll see. We'll get there.
Nico, where are you at, brother?
You find me on TikTok, nico.skywalker. I also need to make an Instagram too. I'm slacking.
Yes, follow all of my friends, please. They're amazing people. They do some fun stuff. And if you love Star Wars, you like us, we'll go and follow everybody and you will have a good time. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. My Twitter sucks, so don't follow me there. But, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, you guys know what the deal is. Much love. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.
Thank you.